Guys, I watched all of Solo Leveling. I was curious to watch Solo Leveling because there was a big kerfuffle at the end of last year, and at the end of this year, and it was Frieren getting beaten out by Solo Leveling for Anime of the Year. And, you know, I watched all 2 seasons, and okay, so Solo Leveling is this anime where this character, Sung Jin-woo, is this wiener. He's a small wiener. He's a little dork boy. He's a little baby, a little loser, and he is in this world where dungeons have begun to appear all around the world. And when a dungeon appears, you have a set amount of time until a dungeon break happens. And when a dungeon break happens, it means all the monsters that are in the dungeon leak out of it and into the real world, which is really bad because they'll murder people. And in this world, Sung Jin-woo is the lowest rank of hunter. He is E class, which means he doesn't really have any powers that are above a normal person. He basically just has the capacity to enter dungeons. That's kind of it. And he's a little fucking baby loser, and everyone sees it, and he sees it, and he just hunts to provide for his sister and mother. And that is until he goes through some shit and gains the ability to level up. So basically, he becomes the main character of this world. If he does a set amount of quests every day, he gets boosts to his strength, his intelligence, his charisma, his dexterity, all this kind of stuff. And so he is the only person in this entire world that's able to level up. So it's kind of like a reverse isekai, because this isn't taking place in a video game world. It's taking place in a, not necessarily like a real world, but a fantasy world where one character can level up. Solo leveling. And so that's what he starts to do. And this anime has received a lot of criticism from people for being like extremely basic, for having little to no like character arcs, for having like just very, very simple story, and like not a whole lot of world building, not a whole lot of meat narratively or thematically or anything like that. And I think that is all 100% fair. This is absolutely not an anime where there's honestly like any interesting characters. Like, I don't think anyone in this show is a compelling character. I don't think the show looks good, but let me break down what I mean by that, because I mean a specific thing. I don't think there is barely art direction in this show. Like, it is so kind of nothing looking a lot of the time. The animation is good. The animation is genuinely great. The fight scenes are fantastic. But there's barely any character in this show and that I could look at them and be like, that's a cool character design, I want to draw that. Or anything that even makes me feel like there's a visual language at play here. Every character is like this kind of very plain, very kind of forgettable design. Some of them have like hoodies, and then some of them have hoodies and like a bit of armor, and it's just, some of them are more elaborate, but even the elaborate ones, they're not like especially interesting looking, you know? And so the show has been like rightly kind of criticized for a lot of that stuff. And during like the early episodes, I totally felt that. I was like, okay, so this is anime of the year, huh? And then, chat, something happens that I was not expecting at all. I really started enjoying Solo Leveling. Okay, I was as shocked as anyone, but after a couple of episodes, I started feeling it. I started having a fun time with it. And I want to explain why, okay? Everything I said about the world building, the art direction, the character design, stand by that 100%. And the thing I started really enjoying about it was what this show is a crawl of a character going from being like the weakest person on the planet to the strongest. And here's the thing. Okay, there's two things to know about that. Number one, this show wastes barely any time at all on anything other than that crawl. There is practically no episode that is not about this dude going into a dungeon and fighting monsters. Okay? Like, it is so fucking bare bones. It is just that. It is this guy, monsters, dungeons, leveling up. So that's the first part. There is no, like, fat on this show. It's like, it moves well. It's got, like, a good pace. And then the second part, the actual leveling up, watching him get stronger, is genuinely, like, well done. Like, it's compelling. Okay, do you want, like, a bunch of cool shit happening every episode, like cool action? This show is going to deliver it every time. There's no, like, flabby episodes. There's no episodes where you don't know exactly what you're going to get. And it's like, it's fun watching him level up. Like, early on, he starts training up with, like, daggers, okay? And then later, he gets, like, a telekinetic spell. And then later, you see him throw a dagger into the air and start, like, rotating the dagger into, like, this fucking propeller blade. And then telekinetically manipulating that blade into his enemies. And at no point do they stop and be like, this is how he's doing it. They just assume that you get it. And I was getting so into that aspect of it that I, like, started pausing it and reading, like, the different menu screens and reading the level up screens because I wanted to know what his new powers did. Because honestly, like, I was finding it, like, exciting. Like, I was having a fun time with it. Then you start, like, seeing him going up against, like, stronger and stronger monsters, and it's just really fucking fun. You know, you see him get trapped in this weird ice world with all these, like, ice elves who are really vicious and mean. You see him get trapped in this fucking crazy world with these, like, red orcs who are, like, just really fucked up and strong. And eventually you see him level up his class. And he goes from, like, being a rogue, and I don't even really want to spoil it, he goes from being a rogue to something else. And that something else completely changes the dynamic of the show. And it completely changes how he fights and what his goals are. And I thought it was really well done in terms of being a show about this dude leveling up, you know? And I always say it, right? Like, I'm always going to be honest about when I enjoy something and when I don't. There's a lot of people who don't like this show. I did like it. I thought it was really fun. And, you know, I'm not going to lie about that. In other words, chat, some of us have aura, okay? Some of us are Jin Woos, and some of us are just a bunch of level E hunters, alright? Is it a better show than Frieren Beyond Journey's End? No. No, it's not. It's not even close. So someone in the chat just pretty much had the perfect analogy. So this is from Grand Dream. Frieren is a wonderfully crafted 5-course meal made by a loved one. Solo leveling is McDonald's, but fuck, we all need a Big Mac sometimes. Grand Dream, I genuinely could not have put it any better than that. That is exactly how I feel about solo leveling. Like, so the last 3 months for me, chat, it was like a lot of like working till like getting up, starting work at 8:30 a.m. and working all the way through the day till about 10 p.m. And at 10, I'm tired and I just don't want to do anything else. But I did have just enough mental capacity to stick on this dumb, very well done power fantasy show and just kind of get lost in it for a little bit. And I really genuinely had a great time with it. It helps that the second OP, Reawaker, is an all-time banger OP. You got my boy Felix from ATs. You got Lisa, and the pair of them just meld so beautifully. The visuals, the song, it's fucking rad. It's just it's very, very fun. Airs to Twitch, I think I need more character than what is being described, but hey, not everything is from me. So I would say Airs to Twitch, like, this is definitely a show that I would not recommend to everyone, but if you like action and if you like that feeling of a character getting stronger, I think pound for pound, over the first season and a half of Solo Leveling, it is so satisfying watching that happen. And especially with the character class change I was talking about, it's genuinely, like, it's so much fun. But that's not to say that, like, the show didn't start to lose me a bit, especially towards the end. So basically, by the end of the second season, I kind of feel like the show has turned into a unironic One Punch Man. It is a One Punch Man without the character comedy, and that was my least favorite part of it. When I say to you that they do the most bargain basements Chimera Ant arc, it is insane. So basically, they take Hunter x Hunter's Chimera Ant arc and they compress it down into maybe 3 episodes, maybe 4, but I think it's 3. I think the problem at that point is that our boy Sung Jin Woo, he has gotten so powerful that, like, nothing can really touch him. It just wasn't very interesting. It was basically every other character getting their head kicked in, being like, I hope Sung Jin Woo shows up soon. And it was like, I just didn't find it that interesting. And from what I understand now, it becomes kind of about the Hunters Association, which is also a thing in Solo Leveling. Also, just want to say, the guy who wrote Solo Leveling should probably send a few dollars to Tagashi. Maybe lean back on the inspiration just a little bit. I really like the first ending theme with him running through the red hallways. Both the ending themes are killer. Both the ending themes are fantastic. So yeah, I think it's a cool show. I will say that, like, to me, the kind of person who thinks this is the greatest show of all time, as some people seem to, and I say this, like, no disrespect, I'm genuinely not shitting on people for saying this, but I think, like, if you think it's the greatest show of all time, I would guess that you're a guy, you're age, like, 12 to, I'd say, 23, and you probably watch a lot of shows like this, but have not gone deep on shonen shit, not gone deep into the back catalogs. And that does not mean that, like, that opinion isn't valid. If the show is important to you, that's all that matters. For me, this was fast food. For me, this was a delicious, greasy burger that I had a great time with. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it a little with you guys. It's a good introduction anime. Absolutely, that's a really good point. I think if someone was very new to anime and I had a feeling they would enjoy shonen, I would maybe sit them down and watch a little bit of Solo Leveling. It's kind of like Death Note, where it takes a lot of what is fun about, like, conflict and how it's portrayed in anime and manga, and just makes it so digestible, you know?